For some reason, every team nowadays is launching the ball into the opposition's defensive third to win a throw-in from kickoff. Everyone is confused as to why teams are now doing this, but guys, I've done some research. I've watched a couple more games and I believe I understand why teams are now doing this. Stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 main reasons why teams do this and the 1 major risk with these new rugby style kickoffs. Welcome back to the Mids MB channel. Guys, today I'm starting a new series called Tactical Thursdays where I'll be breaking down every single week new tactics in football, old classic tactics, and why certain positions in football have now become extinct. So as you can see on the board, guys, we are now starting with the home team in red and the away team in blue. Now both teams have a very similar setup. The home team is more of a 4-2-3-1, whereas the away team is more of a classic 4-3-3. And essentially this black bead is what we're going to be using as the football. So usually what we're used to seeing is, teams kicking off and launching it wide, sending their target man up here to try and win a duel with a centre half, and it's a 50-50. Now this creates a bit of a 50-50. Will we lose possession and create a turnover, or will we regain possession and the number 9 will either knock it on for a winger that's trying to run in behind or knock it back down to a midfielder. But it's a lot down to chance. Now what teams have decided to do is launch the ball all the way out for a throw-in. And when they do this, their team setup now looks a bit like this. So now, as you guys can see, the board looks completely different. You've got your number 9 pressing very, very high on the right centre half and essentially trying to win that first ball from the thrower, who is the right back. You've got your left winger now pressing on the right centre mid, who started, very much comfortable in the middle of the pitch, has now been pushed out wide. You have the away team's right winger right up against the home team's left back. You've got your number 10 pouncing on the central defensive midfield of the away team, and you've got the home team's right winger tucking very, very narrow into the middle of the park, and he's usually either touch tight with the left centre mid, or he's doing a bit of half and half in between, the away team's left winger and the away team's left centre mid. So let's just say he's about there. And then you have a rest defense. So when I say a rest defense, this is essentially when the ball is in possession, or I guess when you are high up the pitch, you have the resting defensive players. So this is your 2 centre backs, your left and your right, and then you've also got your right back here tucked. Again, depending on which manager it is, some managers might prefer a bit more of an aggressive approach, so that means you have 2 in your rest defense, and some, like potentially a Mikel Arteta, would want the right back here, so then the rest defense now becomes a 3. Now the first main reason why teams do this is because of territory. Now the home team will completely bypass the mid block set by the away team and have the ball high up the pitch in only 3 seconds. And if we go to the board, we can see that quite clearly. We have a number of home team players in the opposition's half already. We have the number 9, your 2 wingers left and right, your number 10, your left back, and on occasion you might even have both of your defensive midfielders as well, meaning that majority of your team is already in the opposition's half from 3 seconds in. Now why this matters so much is because you trade off the risk of building through the middle and potentially having a turnover for a lot more possession and territory inside not only the half actually, but even in terms of the opposition's defensive third, which again would probably stop around here. You already have your number 9 almost on the back of the right centre half, and then you've got your 3 attacking players again in that same third too. Now the second reason ties perfectly into the first reason in terms of having more territory. And the second reason is because there will be a swarm of players almost set in a pressing trap by the home team that will surround the second ball in an instant. Now what I mean by the second ball is essentially the first ball will be the first throw from the right back to wherever he plays it. Let's say he plays it out to the right centre mid here. The second ball is what happens next. Is he going to go back to the right back? Is he going to try and go to the centre mid? Is he going to try to play forward to the number 9 or to one of the wingers? And with that comes the box of death. Now this is just a term I'm using to make this breakdown a bit more easier to digest, a bit more easier to understand. The box of death actually appears in 2 positions on the board. So as you can see here, as soon as it comes out, and let's say now the right back is active in play, it comes out to the right centre mid, and if he goes back to the right back, plays a safe pass, what he now has is a box here made by the left back, your number 8, your winger, and your number 10. But then also, if you can see, there's almost like an identical box made by your number 10, your right winger, your number 6, and your number 8. Now anyhow, say the right back decides to, try and hit the number 9 as the target man so he can hold up the ball, so he can hold up the ball and bring others into play. As soon as he hits that ball, what now happens is that the left back can now become engaged. Your left centre half can now push on. Can now push on and mark your right winger. And all of a sudden, he is swarmed not only by the left back, not only by the number 8 that is touch tight trying to win the duel, but then also he can't play it into the middle here because he's got the right winger and the number 6 to worry about. Now, if the striker decides to try and play it back to his defensive midfielder, the defensive midfielder is already marked out the game by the number 10. And I'm going to break down 3 ways in which the team can now take advantage of this turnover. Now, the first way the team can take advantage of this turnover is if the number 10 intercepts this ball, or say, I don't know, he comes closer and he presses him and he wins that duel. Now the number 10 has the ball here. That makes space for your winger to come inside. It makes space for your number 9 to now make a appealing pass in between not only the centre mid, but also the centre back. Very awkward position, and that can even feed into the right winger here, creating a clear through ball onto goal. Now, let's say the left back intercepts this ball. Say he duels with the number 9, he supports his number 8, and he wins the ball. Now the left back has 4 options that he can pass to, which can all lead to goal. You have a direct pull, whether that's over the top, a quick fizz ball straight in to your winger, your right winger, your number 7. He has a ball that he can play out wide to the number 11, who can then either play it onto the number 9 straight away, potentially link up with the number 7 if he makes a dart and run into the box, and he can even just lay it off to his number 10. It's a very, very dangerous box of death to have, and this is why I say it's the box of death, because anyhow your striker has a loose touch, anyhow your striker loses a duel, anyhow something that isn't perfect comes of this, you're dead. You're dead. Whether that's by the left back, the number 10, the winger, it doesn't matter. You have now conceded a chance on goal. Now, whether that is a goal and they've actually scored, or it's just a near miss, and all of a sudden, now, as the away team, you're on the back foot. You're thinking, rah, the game's only started and we've only made 1 mistake, and now look, we're either a goal down or we could have been a goal down. Maybe it's a corner now. And this gives the home team another way from a dead ball scenario to try and get an early goal. And that is the third reason. Set piece equity. Now, a reason why this matters the most is because you get a repeatable chance from a dead ball situation to make chances on goal, to potentially score. Again, if you're a team like Arsenal who are absolute killers from set pieces, you will love that. Because say the right back doesn't make the pass into the number 9, say the right back actually does get closed down, you manage to win the ball or deflect it off him for either another throw in, this time your throw in, or your corner. You have a dead ball situation within the first minute of the game. Every manager's dream. So essentially, with these 3 main reasons, gaining a lot of territory early on in the game, your second ball swarm, and your set piece equity, this is all because we're seeing football move into a new direction in terms of the last 5 years. Everyone's been heavy on pressing high on, a lot more aggression, a lot more duels, and a lot more focus on what you can actually do as a team out of possession rather than in possession. And I guess one kind of underrated factor that I even just thought of when I was, researching and going through this before I recorded was the psychological tempo from the off. If you're the home team, you're essentially saying to the away team, have the ball from kickoff, because we know we can either get you on the second ball, we know we can either trap you into, playing through the lines and us killing you on transition, or try your luck. We're set piece FC. Throw-ins, we can do a long throw-in into the box. We can even try and trap you in your own defensive third, in that own little corner, get a corner, and then score from it. And these are reasons why this new rugby style, we might be seeing this for the next 2-3 seasons, who knows. Now guys, as I'm going on in this video, please make sure you comment and critique what I'm saying. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think I've got it right? Or do you think maybe I'm explaining it a bit too quickly? Maybe I need to slow it down and break it down a bit easier, or have I just completely got it wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. However, it's not all rosy and dandy. With all tactics, it's not all rosy and dandy. And the one reason why I believe this rugby tactic might not actually work is if you're a team that wants to deploy this and you have a very, very attacking mindset. Now, let's go back to the board so I can show you what I mean. Now, set up the board in a more attacking way, and let's say you're a manager who wants to have his right back and his left back quite high up the pitch. So this is where the right back is, and this is your left back as the home team. So say the right back of the away team now plays the ball into the right centre mid. With that, obviously, there'll be a bit more pressure from your number 10. He's probably going to do half and half. He's not going to go and dive in like a mad chicken. The right back, obviously, is now back in play because he is just taking a throw in. If that right centre mid is now able to actually play that ball either into the centre mid or to the goalkeeper, that, again, this will only kind of work with teams that are very, very technical in terms of, it could probably work if the away team is a Man City, maybe if the away team is an Arsenal, a PSG, or Barcelona. Teams that are very comfortable with their centre mids having the ball in tight positions and under a lot of pressure. So let's say the right centre mid plays it in to his defensive midfielder and he can take it on the turn, and I'm not going to say turn and completely play out, but turn and just turn away from the number 10. He now has possession. What he now has the chance to do is play the ball into the goalkeeper, which of course naturally will attract the number 9. Now that he's played the ball, the number 10 might also, let's just say, he sticks with him. Your centre back will split, your left back will push on, he moves the ball here, and essentially what you now have is your number 9 kind of doing doggies. Your left centre mid now has the chance to attract your defensive midfielder. Now has the chance to attract your defensive midfielder and make him follow you wherever you go on that pitch. Now that your left centre back has the ball, there's no need for the left back to be so narrow and tight to him. He can, as they say in non-league, he can piss off. He can go down here and create an opportunity. Say he comes here and obviously, you've either got your right winger going towards or he's doing half and half to try and track. He can now put a long ball straight to the left back who gets the ball high up, and he's broken out of that rugby style tactic within a matter of passes. Let's say your right winger does track the left back. Okay, well, that's fine because now the left centre back can drive with the ball. Centre mid comes out here. Of course, he comes out here because he's going to follow him. He's going to stay with him wherever he goes. What that now means is that your number 9 can actually peel away from your number 8 as he follows him. The right winger can now go a bit higher, and your centre mid can now tuck in. Your right back goes back. Your right centre back goes back into his normal position. Again, your centre mid is now in position, and what it creates is a bit of chaos, a bit of disorder, because now the left centre back, who at first was pinned right on the edge of his box, now has the chance to potentially give it to the centre mid to recycle the ball. If he's confident, if he's like a Gvardiol, if he's like a Gabriel, if he's a Bastoni as well, he could potentially put a long clip ball either into the number 9, the right winger, or the left back that's going up. And that for me is one risk of this rugby style tactic. If you are like very, very attacking and you only have a 2 in your rest defense, this is one potential flaw. However, if you have a 3 in your rest defense, so let's say, your right back wasn't as high, he wasn't as attacking as, your right wingers, and he keeps him as that 3, you completely negate the opportunity for the left back of the opposing team to bomb forward and make a run. Now, that was a lot of information, and I really, really hope I explained it well enough. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed this breakdown and you feel like you understand the reasons why teams do this, make sure you drop a like. If you want to see more of this, please comment down below Tactical Thursday and subscribe to stick around for more content. I'm going to try my best to upload twice a week, so once for Tactical Thursday, and then my normal Sunday evening uploads are going to stay as normal. And guys, follow me on social media as well, whether it's what you guys want to see next on Tactical Thursday, you just want to keep up to date with me. It's MidsMB everywhere. That's TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and of course on Twitch, where I'll be streaming every single week after the match days in the Premier League. But yeah, until my next Tactical Thursday or my next upload, keep it real, and I'll see you when I see you in a bit.